painted tail light assemblies. Both sides have been painted because of the plastic and the age. These are direct replacements bulbs. This is a turn signal bulb, and one of the reference numbers I found, or cross reference, is 7506 for this style. It also goes by other numbers, but this is the direct replacement for last fit. And that is this product right here, if you want to look it up. A great company. And this comes in a dual pack, or 2 pieces in 1 pack. As far as the parking and brake light, this is 7528. That's one of the cross-reference numbers for this bulb. And this one for the turn signal only comes in amber from last fit. They don't have this in a white, even though the lens is yellow. For this is a white bulb, and this is a direct replacement as far as the fitment goes. And this is a dual parking and brake. You can tell by the 2 contacts there. Same thing here. And that is, here is the part number for that from last fit. And that also comes in a 2-pack for anyone who's interested. Basically, this is how it looks inside the unit. Here are the direct replacements for the front turn signal lamps. When buying these LEDs, I've made this mistake before. Some manufacturers will have a taller cap here, and that height will sometimes interfere with some of these fixtures, especially the the license plate lights or fixtures. They won't fit in there. This happens to be from last fit, model LT10A. The A, I think, is for amber. Since this is going in here, it's an amber light. However, I'm pretty sure you can just put a white light. They do sell a white light also. I just purchased the amber. And this also comes in a 2-pack. Here's the tail light reinstalled. This passenger's tail light was broken. This is the original driver's side. I did purchase new ones from a place in Florida. These were, I think, about $14 to $15 each, plus $8 shipping for both. The link will be below. And it's a OEM, it's not an OEM, it's an aftermarket. It's almost identical. The only difference I noticed is that these OEMs have weep holes on the bottom of the lens, or the top, depending which way you put it. And the new ones don't. However, they're pretty much identical. As far as feature, except it doesn't have all the embossed printing that the OEM lenses have. However, it's a direct fit. One thing you have to, I did put dielectric grease on the connection. One thing you have to be aware of is the housing. after about 26 years, this plastic, I believe it's an ABS, it's brittle. It's getting to the point where you can actually with your nail gouge into it, and especially around the perimeter here where it's exposed to the sunlight. As you can see here, it's bits and pieces are starting to fall off. So when you do put a new lens in, make sure that you're very careful that you don't wind up taking a big chunk of the housing out. One other tip is with these Japanese vehicles, don't use American Phillips screwdrivers. You have to use these Vessel made in Japan screwdrivers. These are JIS standards. I'll show you why. If you notice here, it just doesn't work. You see what I mean? It's not compatible at all. However, with the correct screwdriver, first try. Look at that. I always say use the right tool for the right job. Now I have just that side. The license plates lights, which are down here, they take the same T10 bulbs as the turn signal ones in the front. They also have other reference numbers, but these are T10, and you can cross-reference that amongst about half a dozen other numbers. And these are it. These are white, and they're the same length. Like I said earlier, you have to be careful with some LED lights will be a little extra tall, and sometimes especially they won't fit in housings like this. I had the same issue with my GMC truck for the license plates, and this particular brand, it's a match as far as the height. The turn signal lights in the front, it's just a single bulb. It's the same ones as the ones in the rear. I think they're the L56. This particular one, just like the rear, is amber in color, and there is the model number. It also comes in a 2-pack. The interior dome bulb I did a couple weeks ago because while measuring the original one, I dropped it and broke it. However, it's an a 28 millimeter bulb. This is it says 28 mm. This is the part number for last fit, but I'm pretty sure you can find that same thing for other manufacturers. The only difference between this one and that one, it has these aluminum heat sinks. At night, this thing lights up like a Christmas tree in here. It's a huge improvement inside the cab. And these are sold as a pair, so you'll have an extra one for another application or vehicle. I'm attempting to see what bulb is in here. One thing I did find out, there is a one of those T10 bulbs on the side, which you can switch over to LED, so I'll have to order an additional pair for the front here. They act when you turn on your exterior lights. You'll see a light in this corner. You can almost see the hole in there, and I guess they act like daylight running lamps. or daylight running lights when you have the exterior lights on. And then when you turn on the headlights, the main bulb inside then turns on, low beam or high beam. This is just basically a boot, like a weather tight boot that sits over the fixture and the plastic housing. Once you pop it off, there is a tab there that says top. It's a very tight seal. It looks like it sits around the bulb base here, and then the plastic housing just to keep this part weather tight, which is kind of strange. All these light assemblies, unlike vehicles here in North America, which are all kind of weather tight, these all are vented. This is actually a tube that when it sits like that, I guess it lets all the moisture out of there. I noticed that also in the side markers, and in the rear, nothing's sealed. None of the wires going into the back are sealed. Everything is made to breathe. The only issue with that is that eventually dust does get in there. That's why I wound up painting the taillights, because it was just dirty. And no matter how much cleaning I tried, they weren't white. That's why those were painted. But it's pretty interesting design that everything is vented, and 26 years later it's still working. I'm going to take out this screw. It looks like there's a screw here that holds this clip, so then I can see what kind of bulb this is. So my next couple hours behind the computer is to see if there is an alternative bulb to this, preferably in an LED or something better than this brightness. This is the backup LED strip that I swear by. I have this on my full-size 2017 Sierra. These are a little pricey. This is a XRT LP. It's made by a Canadian company. It's, well, designed in Canada, made in China. It's xenondepot.com. They sell these in Amazon. They're roughly $85 on Amazon, but if you look online, I found this one for $75 with free shipping for the same exact here in the United States. But basically this mounts over your has the same bolt pattern as the North American plates. It mounts right there, and they give you enough wire here for you to run it back. For now, I'm just going to, there's a quick disconnect. I am going to do a quick connection. It's almost Christmas here, and it's getting colder by the minute and by the week, so come this spring I'll refine this, make it more permanent, and I'll show you the results after I'm done. Also, the reverse light, existing reverse light, is another T10 bulb. I just checked it. I will be having along with the backup one there, one in the back, that's a T10 also, so I have another pair coming, and I'll just replace this one. It'll be redundant, it won't be as bright as this. This will make a world of a difference when you're backing up into a dark area. The nice thing about this setup is that it has two ways to mount it. You can mount it, the wire, you can mount it straight back, and it has a grommet. You would have to drill a hole through your body, you know, plastic or whatever, or if you don't have that option, you can mount it so it's running parallel to the unit. It will come out, the cable would come out the right side. That's how I'm going to mount it temporarily, because I would have to drill a hole here, and I don't want to do that now. I'll wait till the spring to make a more permanent installation. I'll just run it here and then zip tie all the cord, all the extra wire in the back, and somehow tie it into this reverse light. A quick and dirty job just to get through the winter, but it'll work. Here's the existing halogen bulb in there. This is before any upgrade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all that extra wire. I'm going to take those two ends once I establish what's negative and what's positive. Oh, that was smart. Here's the plug for the reverse light. What I want to do is I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to shove the wire down the female end, and it's thin enough that it'll fit hopefully between the male and the female plugs here, and wrap it up in tape. It's a quick and dirty connection to get me through the winter. Once spring comes around, my plans is to cut this here, then wire up the LED lights by soldering it here. That way then I have a plug. Okay, what I did is the wire from the LED, I just squeezed it. Matter of fact, you can see it go on and off. Put it between the two plugs, taped it. It's a quick and dirty job. And the original factory, these little clips that you see here, they're all breaking, they're brittle. This actually holds a taillight wiring. I'm just going to take these out, throw them away, and zip tie everything like I did here. Again, this is just for the winter. As you can see, after the technical difficulties I had with the hyper flashing on the turn signals only, I did my research, did some other purchases, and these are all Amazon products. Found out that I need to install these filters, so I bought this one set of 4 filters. So I'm hoping that I can take one set, put in the rear, and then the second set is put in the front to serve both this corner and front lens. I'm not sure if I'll get to that today, because I know I have to take the headlight out, and I'm going to try to put it before they split to this light and this light. The back one should be easy. It's just one set of signals. These other T10s or equivalent, one set is for the, I didn't realize these have a kind of daylight running lamps inside the headlight in here on the bottom corner. It's right there. That one was working on that side, but the bulb was a little loose. So this is one set. The other set is for the bed light, which also takes a T10. And for now I'm going to replace the original bulb in here. Even though I have this LED, My idea is once the spring comes up, I'm going to convert this into a third brake light by tying the lines into the brake connectors on one of these, and then I'll buy some of that lens tinting spray. It comes in a spray can, and I'll tint the outside red so it'll act like a third brake light when I hit the brakes, and it'll be normally off. So for now I'm just going to put this bulb, and later on it'll serve the purpose. The other third item is I found, after doing some research as far as fitment goes or format, I did find these LEDs for the headlights. I'm so used to with the other vehicles having that other style. These were roughly, I think, $50. It was a coupon on Amazon. It's also from last. I'll explain this more in detail. This does have a cooling fan inside of it, and it's a dual lamp. I did buy the 3M kit to clean up headlights, so I'll take these off, take them inside my shop in the basement, let them warm up, and I'll polish these out before I install this and before I put that bulb in there. That way I can do everything in one shot. Here's the hookup for the tail lights that are hyper flashing. Installing these load resistors. Black is ground. The green is, the problem is it's two greens. Well, solid green is the tail light. I want to install this before the plug. So if I have to service this tail light, the resistor won't come with it. My understanding is that the resistors are, I gotta take off my glove for this, sucks. They don't matter which polarity you hook it up to. This would suck if I hooked it up to the wrong wire. There it goes. So I want to install this so I can zip tie everything. On the front edge of this frame. Okay, that's one. Everything's 10 times worse when you're working in the cold. Things don't want to cooperate. I'm trying out this new camera. Don't know if you're in frame or not at this point. Don't care. It's too cold. However, it's an Odro EP8, it's 4K, one of these wearable cameras. I've heard a lot of good reviews. However, the only issue I'm having is that it won't connect to the app with my Android phone running version 12. I tried it on another Android phone that's running a different model. It's running version 12. The same issue. However, I tried it on a much older phone, about 3 to 4 years old, an Android that's running version 11, and it connected the first time. So anyhow, let's go test out this side, see if I don't get the hyper flashing. The problem is, I'm still going to get the hyper flashing because of the front bulbs. You know something? I screwed up. Yep, I did. Wrong green wire. Now I gotta get another tool. That's what sucks about not having a garage. I'll be back. Okay. After a bit of, not a bit, a lot of cursing, these connectors, they bite. As in mean, they bite. They don't bite as they work, but they suck. If you ever have to take this off, some of the better ones actually hinge in the back here. So if you ever have to take it off, you can pry this open and then push that blade out. This is not. I had to take that one out completely and use another one. I'm going to try to salvage the other one. However, it's working, as you can see correctly. Look at that. So I'm assuming that one set in the back will actually provide the correct resistance to the entire side. So I don't have to install the front ones. I'll have extras. I'll have an extra set. They were cheap enough on Amazon. I think it was about $9 for those 4-pack. Some of them, if you go buy these at the auto parts store, they're about $9 or more each. So I'll have 2 extras and I'll have extra connectors. So easy job. Now I got to do this on the other side, and then attach these resistors to the body frame. These do get hot. You don't want to install these on any type of plastic. So I'll come back when I have this all installed. Okay, here's the final installation on the passenger side. This thing does get extremely hot to the touch. So I installed it with some sheet metal screws there. In order to keep this wiring away from it, I drilled a new hole here, 1/4-inch hole, to zip tie this whole setup here. And basically my plug, I'll be able to unplug everything if I ever have to service taillight assembly. Now to repeat this whole setup on the other side. Well, that's it for now. So keep it away from the anything melting. Let's try it out. Beautiful. That one's working fine. I gotta change that LED out. Change that out to the LED. Perfect. Perfect. Well, if you're doing this, you have the same exact model, and you decide to upgrade to LEDs, at least for me, all I had to do is purchase one set of these load resistors mounted in the back, and both the front and back are working while I'm here. I'll swap out the bed light. This is a single T10 bulb. I thought that this lens came out, so I was having issues. However, from what I found out, is this entire housing comes out. And I think it's a sealed unit. I'm not sure. I'm not going to mess with it now and break something with this cold. And this is, it's just a seal. It just goes in there. It's like a rubber grommet. There we go. Should be very bright at night. The only other one I have to do in the back is the reverse light. Surprisingly, those look like stainless steel screws. There it goes. There you go. There you go. Come on. And there you go. It's amazing. Once the sun disappears, how freaking cold it gets. Doesn't work. There it goes. It's a lot brighter than that original bulb. Okay, take two on these front turn signals, as far as my original theory goes. went. If all the others were this easy. I spoke too soon. Holy cow. See what I mean? Use a Japanese industrial standard screwdriver made in Japan. And everything works perfect. Starting to strip it. About these screwdrivers, they have a different format as far as the tip goes. Okay, now for test number, I don't know, 20 here. Oh, I don't hear anything different. Beautiful, that looks nice. A lot brighter even in daylight. Look at that. Now to take out these headlights, bring them down to the shop, let them warm up so I can polish them and install the 2 LED lights. I think these headlights are going to make a world of a difference. One of these also has some corrosion inside, a little bit of I don't say corrosion, I say oxidation, whatever that is, when the brass tips. Yeah, oxidation. So I'll have to address that in the spring. Let me not do that. I have to invest in a JIS tip for the 1/4-inch drives. See if something is available on Amazon, because if I order it through Amazon Japan, they're gonna hit me for shipping. I'll tell you one thing, a lot of this, even small things like that, it's just the way the engineering of everything being wrapped up and nice, neat, everything kind of in its place, not just thrown there. For something 26 years old, you know, I have to admit that Most of the Japanese products are very well made. Okay, let me try the daylight running lights or the exterior lights. Yep, works there. Works there. Beautiful. Okay, time to pack up, go back into the shop, a warm place, and clean up those headlight assemblies. Here's a before and after. This one's been finished after 15 minutes worth of work, and this is the original. You can clearly see the yellowing here, and almost looks brand new. This is using this product you can find pretty much anywhere. One thing about these newer LEDs with all this heat sink, and this particular one has a cooling fan. It's not like the old style where the rubber boot that sits right here, there's nothing interfering. Here you have this entire heat sink that's wider than the whole of the boot there. So what I did is that I removed that flange, this part right here that sits in the housing. Put this edge on a vise. Like so. And without squeezing, put your palm on the top of the LED and then wiggle it down while holding the bottom. Just wiggle it back and forth and you'll separate this entire setup from this flange. The only thing I would do, what you should do, is put a marking with a Sharpie, some kind of reference, so you can line it back up. Like right here on this center fin where the cable's coming out, at least on this model. Put a Sharpie right there so you can kind of get them aligned back up. These are adjustable. Once you get this locked into the housing, you can rotate this back portion clockwise or counterclockwise. It sits in this position like that, but you can rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise. As you can see, the way it sits, you see those pins sticking out, that's how it sits in the housing. And that is so you can adjust the beam of this light up against something flat like a wall or a garage door at night. That's how you adjust these. One other thing, since after you press this back in by hand, it goes and you hear a snap, at least on this unit. You don't have much room for the hold down spring that sits here, and it uses that screw as a pivot point, and then this part sits underneath here while this part pushes down, and right here at this bottom V pushes down on the light. You're gonna have to unscrew that. There's no way to get this around all of this here, so doing that one here, unscrew it and slip this inward, put it in there, make sure that's resting on the flange, and then push down on here and then tighten the screw. That'll lock the bulb down so it doesn't come out. Here's the final installation. Basically, you want to install that clip, you'll have to remove it from the screw side. You gotta take this boot and pull it outward so it's cupped this way. Then you can slip the spring in, hook it, make sure the other arm is sitting on the flange of the bulb, and then push down with your finger and tighten that screw. That screw acts like a hinge, so you lift this arm up and it flips over so you can remove the bulb. But because of this fitment here, you're going to have to loosen the screw on one side to put the clip in this way, push down, and then tighten the screw. Well, once again working in the dark.
Charge it in time.
Tell you one thing, that little daylight running light, it is super bright. Now, here it is, all done. Hands are frozen. Turn signals work fine. You may not see it on the video, but it is a lot brighter, everything, including the license plate lights. I'll try to post a before picture of the front versus it now. I still have to adjust the lights. I got them as horizontal as I could, and it is a very tight fit behind there. I think a little too tight, but I made it happen. How long it will last, I don't know. Everything is squeezed in there behind the headlight assembly onto the body frame on both sides. But everything's done as far as the upgrades for the LEDs. Interior dome light, as you can see, it is bright in here compared to the before. And this is the tailgate, the bed lit up with the new LED. Before it lit it up, but not this bright. It's a big improvement. As far as the headlights, that's a huge improvement, because when I drove it at night, between the yellowing of the lenses and the old halogen, it was a little iffy going down the road, but now it should be beautiful. And especially the LEDs in the front lenses, those are a huge improvement. I can barely see them before. I didn't know they were even there until I took off the headlight assembly. But this is just the running lights, or all the exterior lights on. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little long, but it was all worth it. Maybe you'll get something out of it, get some ideas for your K-Truck. Again, thanks for watching.